Welcome to the Conversations with Goddesses podcast, the feminine way of soul connection and working with energy. This podcast is run by Kasia and Ursula, expert healers and modern spiritual seekers.
Hello, Kasia.
Hello.
Welcome, everybody in Sacred Space. And today we have a theme around the joy body versus the pain body, and self-expression. How can we be ourselves and express our uniqueness and truth, possibly in a flow that is light and pleasurable. And we have had loads of conversations around this theme. We called it How to Be Successful, but really, what is success? It's a very personal definition, and also it's holistic. Success happens on many levels. And we are taking the theme forward from the notion of pain body, because pain body is all this trauma or conditioning that, doesn't make us feel very good. We are scared or tense or anxious. We live in contraction. And so where is the joy of self-expression when we are trapped in this? So I don't know if you have any thoughts that come in the flow.
When you're talking about it, for me, there is probably no biggest joy than being able to fully express myself, my needs, wants, or just who I am. So connection to the joy body seems to be very important. Usually we may be in the pain body because since childhood we've been conditioned to behave, to be nice, to not get angry. So part of us is getting cut off. But we were talking also about Gabor Mate, who I've started listening to recently. He talks about this attachment and need to belonging. We want to belong. It's part of our build. And so we lose a big part of ourselves in order to belong, to be accepted. And then in the adulthood, we start to learn how to self-express again, that it's safe to sometimes get angry or sometimes say no or say yes. And it brings real joy when suddenly you can take this breath and say, wow, I'm myself. And it's okay.
Yes, I remember Gabor Mate. He talks about authenticity. And how can you be authentic when your behavior is conditioned by the need of pleasing, because you want to connect, you want to bond, and so you are looking outward for, am I behaving right? Am I doing enough? Am I being enough? Because you have this need of connection. And instead, the magical child, if he has been loved in a good way, he doesn't have that. He's just curious, and he is naturally self-expressive and wants to play and wants to have pleasure as well. They have these huge tantrums, toddlers, because they don't want to be told how to be, and they don't want to be in pain. So when they're in pain, they scream and they disagree. So, but it's this authenticity that I think is a theme that is for everybody.
Yes.
It comes also from, it is there for women, but it is there also in a culture of slavery where we come from, that you are scared to be yourself because you may lose a job, you may be persecuted. As a woman, you may be, as a woman, it's a condition, it's a cultural conditioning, but it's there at many levels.
Yes, and when you talked about success in the beginning, and it's almost like it's a success to be yourself. It's a huge achievement. There are people, probably we can think about people, or this person, they are really themselves. They don't care. They just behave the way they want to. They express themselves, and it's not to hurt others, not to have power over, but just to be themselves. And these people draw a lot of attention and draw a lot of criticism as well. How dare they? How can they be doing it? And it takes a lot of strength to carry it on, to hold the space and say, well, actually, this is me. I'm okay. I love myself. And yes, I'm not hurting anybody and I'm okay. So I think it's a big success as well to be able to accept it. I'm okay just the way I am, and I have the right to express myself, just my truth and who I am. And before our conversation now, we talked about power, the inner power, and our mission. What is our mission? And when we step into this power and our mission, and when we express ourselves, probably it's a real success when we say, wow, this is my mission, I have passion for it, and I'm living in joy with it.
It's about not compromising, is it? Not compromising your highest values or joy, your highest interests in life, not to compromise them because of other people. I was in a retreat recently, and we were doing a quiz, and I was finding the atmosphere a bit sad, depressive. And I said, oh, come on. I said, I want to have fun. Quizzes are fun. So I started being really, how can I say,
Joyful.
yes, joyful, over the top. I was, I was I was a bit over the top, but I said I don't care. I want, to express myself, even if nobody does it, or maybe even some people look at you a bit resentful as well, like you want to be the first prima donna or whatever. No, I just want to have fun. I want to laugh. I want to be provocative. I want to be myself because I want to participate to life, and sometimes around you there isn't the right environment to do so. But it's important not to compromise, to stick to, yes, your truth. And the fine line is, the ego, is it? Why are you doing it? Is there an ego motivation that could be, behavior to overcome pain and rejection so you please, or you want to really overpower others? But it's again an ego. It's a fine balance, isn't it?
Yes, and I think this compromise throws us back into the pain body, because then we go back into the same cycle. Okay, I pleased, or I overwhelmed, whatever else. So I repeat the same pattern. And probably when we can step into our own truth, into ourselves, into our own power, we step out of this pain body into joy, into realness. Because then there's nothing to hide. This is you. Take me or leave me, and this is who I am.
Actually, the pain body is good. It shows you that there is something that is not in alignment. Are you scared? Is there fear? Is there anxiety? Is there contraction? Sometimes it's really no energy. You have no energy in the morning to take yourself out of bed. That's the pain body. It's contracting. You're not naturally connected to your energy flow. Why? Asking yourself, why is this happening? Because I do believe that when we are connected to our deep self, our source, our things are easier, as you know. And I ask myself in the moment, what is it the best thing I can do for myself or for the environment right now? It's the joy body has a sense of flow, of harmony. The pain body, there is something contracting.
Yeah.
So it's a good occasion to look at it.
And the expansion versus construction? No, constriction. So
Yeah,
do we expand or are we contracting? And what's happening in the body? And we've also talked about it. I'm doing a lot of exercises now, and the constriction in hips, we as women carry so much trauma, so much pain in our hips. And once you allow yourself, there needs to be trust, there needs to be allowing. Things start flowing. Everything is just easier. And it brings joy as well. It can bring pain with exercises, but it can bring a lot of joy because at last you're not holding on to something. Because if we're not real, we are holding on to these false identities. One personality or another. Today I'm this, tomorrow I'm something else. I don't even remember what I was yesterday. So it takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of power to hold on to something that's not really real. And when we can just show ourselves, and maybe it just happens when we've tried everything, things don't work, and say, what else? Now I just have to be myself. It's okay. And I allow myself to take off the masks and just say, this is me. This is who I really am.
facing all that, you step out of your comfort zone, you be really yourself, and you face the fear that comes up, the anxiety, the negative thinking. You spoke about the hips. That area, the second chakra and the hara, is the area of emotions. We have actually neurons there, loads of neurons, loads of meridians. And there we have all the emotions stuck in the body. Emotions are like thoughts in the body. And so when there is an emotional contraction or a physical contraction, we need to stop because we are not in the flow, and ask ourselves and allow the contraction, allow the negative emotion, allow the fear, allow the depression. Even sometimes there is no feelings. You are simply depressed. Everything is closed up, but it's not natural. There is something there that is an emotion and then a thought that is blocking your natural self-expression. There is no one way to be successful. Everybody's different. We are all different flowers, and you were speaking about identities. It's not about being an identity, the successful one, the strong woman, the whatever. It's not about being an identity, because that is the mind, it's the condition. It's about being yourself, in your own unique way. And I notice that when I am myself, even if I'm a bit crazy and strange and wacky and weird and whatever, people actually, they come close to me, and they are joyful, and there is laughter and there is connection, because somehow you give other people permission to be themselves. But no, I block myself,
Yes, and
especially fear.
there's no pretending. So you come out from behind the screen. And so there's no fear or what is she really like, what's happening. It's just the truth. This is who I am. And this is how I'm showing to yourself. And it gives, yes, like you said, others permission to be themselves as well. And when you were talking about the pain body and joy body as well, what came to me is that we so used to living in the pain body that it becomes our identity almost. This is my life. It will always be like this. And it's almost like with an addiction. We have to realize, wow, I'm living a life. I'm living not my true life. It's something different. And then slowly start unraveling what are my fears, what are my behaviors, what are my patterns, what's going on. But first, we have to acknowledge that it's not real, that we've become so used to it. It becomes the real, the normal. This is my life now. This is it. And the realization that, well, actually, it's not. It could be something else. It could be joyful. It could be real. I think it's the first step to doing it. And maybe we'll do a meditation on it, on unraveling.
Yes,
And
we can do a
yeah.
meditation. I was trying to wrap things up,
Mm-hmm.
somehow find a simple, and I was asking myself what could be, because you go to work, you attend to your house, to your children. So how can we be real and authentic in a simple way in every moment? Because then life is made moment by moment, is it? And what helps me? What helps me is a bit. I have this myth of Persephone. What helps me is to have a constant attention of what is happening inside. Persephone is half in the underworld and half 6 months in the underworld, and 6 months she goes back to her mother Demeter, and it's spring and summer, which is a metaphor for self-expression, is it? But yet she is 6 months within, in the underworld, within her psyche. So every moment at work, in my daily life, I ask myself, am I going into a default pattern like you were talking? What is going on inside? How am I feeling? And is it pleasurable, the present moment, or what is there? And if it's not pleasurable, if it's not joy body, if the vibration is not, at least neutral, I stop and I ask myself, how am I feeling? And I breathe it out, and it's staying in the moment, connected to your vibrational state and noticing it, and then accepting it. Okay, I'm in a pain body moment. How can I transform this? You know? Yeah, I don't know if you relate with that.
Yes, and here we come into presence, but we also talk about just this. And I'm definitely not present 100% of the time, but it's this moment when you catch yourself. Oh wow, something's not right, or something's not happening. Also catching yourself. Wow, I'm in so much joy. Something's really going well, and when people start coming to you, things start happening. Say yes, I'm in the right place to manifest, to live my life.
That's very beautiful, to notice the joy moment, that there is a ray of light on your computer, or the flowers are blossoming on the cherry trees. I saw the first one. And that life can be very simple, and this is success. It's noticing the joy of life. Yeah. Okay, we can do a little meditation. Okay, let's do it. So wherever you are, find yourself in a comfortable position, not driving possibly. We do need to have a little sacred space around us always. But we drop the attention within for a moment or two. And it's good to start focusing on breathing, because that connects you with your body. In breath, and on the out breath, allow yourself to relax. When you focus on your breath, breathing in and out, you make a space of stillness, of silence. Make it simple. Just follow your in breath and follow your out breath. And intend a space of stillness where you observe what is happening in your body. How is your body right now? It doesn't necessarily have to be in pain. Maybe there are parts that are actually quite relaxed and joyful. And you notice the pleasure of breathing in oxygen and nourishment and peace and expansion. But there may be parts that are not very happy. Maybe there is tearfulness or tension, restlessness, even fear or anxiety. Drop your attention to your belly. Feel that you are deeply connected to the earth, to a space in the depth of your being. And you can notice from that space of deep presence and connection, notice what is happening in the body. A bit like the lotus, you are deeply rooted, but you are also flowing in waters, and waters can be sometimes rough. There may be fear or anxiety. Allow yourself to flow in these emotions and tensions, knowing that you are anchored to your deep being, to the earth. And don't try to change anything, just breathe through the emotions. Allow them to be. The breath going through the emotion, the tension, the stress, the contraction, the fear. And notice how it melts. Like a river, any emotions flows, is born, lives and dies. You can let it go. You can make a choice. I'm letting go of this now. I'm breathing in, and on the out breath I release any tension, emotion, contraction. And I ask Kasha to guide you into this transformation, into a joy body, healing.
So just allow yourself to sink even deeper into this feeling of being. Nothing else matters. You are. And if you can, remember a magical moment in your life. Maybe the birth of your child, being with someone you love, finishing an assignment that you're really proud of. Or maybe a ray of morning sun. This magical moment that brought you so much joy. And immerse yourself completely in the energy of this moment. So being the lotus and the energy in the water of joy. And notice that it brings more and more of memories, of energy, the beauty of life. You start to attract more joy, more flow, more ease. And in your core, in your center, feel your power, the truth of being yourself. This is who I am, a joyful, truthful, powerful being. I'm here for a reason. And I honor myself. And I honor all the people. Because they have their own truth, their own joy, their own mission. And I love myself for who I am. I know sometimes I will revert into the pain body. It's okay. But I'm conscious. Because I know I can always come back to my center. The inner joy and truth. Feel this love, feel this joy filling your body. And allow yourself to stay with it for as long as you want. And when you're ready, you can always come back to it and remind yourself of how powerful and joyful you are.